Thank you so much. Please take your seats. Once again, thank you all so much for being here today to celebrate this long-awaited accomplishment, an accomplishment that countless generations of future San Diegans will be able to enjoy. As I look out across this crowd, I feel proud that we have built something that will bring this city together. This state-of-the-art building is a beautiful addition to our city, but its value, of course, goes far beyond its mere appearance. When you walk through the doors of this library, my hope is that every San Diegan will feel right at home. And whether you're there to find a book or attend a class or just browse through the exhibits, this is your library. It belongs to you. I am so happy about this day, not only because this library serves as a community unifier, but it also serves as a great equalizer. You know, as the son of a maid and a gardener, I understand that why young people whose parents may not be able to afford the latest in technological gadgets, because of this building, will have equal access to whatever their peers at school may have. The teens-only area of the library provides access to iPads and computers, tutoring services, and plenty of resources. Bridging the digital divide will put everyone on an equal playing field, opening the doors to dreams that might not otherwise have been possible in our city. It also means that everyone can enjoy incredible artwork in our art gallery, concerts, performances in the state-of-the-art theater, gorgeous, incredible views of our amazing city. You must check out the People's Penthouse, the reading room on the top. You're going to love it. We built it just for you, San Diego. It would take far too long to list all that our library has to offer, but I hope that you'll make it a point to discover it on your own time. I would ask that when you enter our library, that you read and think about the Maya Angelou quote chiseled into the front steps every time you enter the library. Maya wrote, "Women, children, men, take it into the palm of your hands, mold it, shape it into your most private need. Sculpt it into your most public self. Lift up your heart. Each new hour holds new chances for a new beginning." I think that's a great message for our city today, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of myself and my city council colleagues, may this library be a place where dreams are realized, memories are made, and learning never ends. Everyone, enjoy your new library. And now, it gives me so much pleasure to introduce you to your city librarian, Deborah Barrow. As our city librarian, Deborah oversees our new central library and the 35 branches that are located in neighborhoods across this city. She is an amazing advocate for libraries and for literacy issues. She has been a vital member of our management team at the city and helped make this new building a reality. Please give a warm welcome to our library director, Deborah Barrow.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mayor Gloria. I enjoy and appreciate working for you. Luminous, inspiring, iconic, the San Diego Central Library is a beacon of knowledge, calling to us from all points, by the freeway, the trolley, bus, or from the air. 30 years in the making, it is a dream come true. Mel Katz, Katie Sullivan, Judith Harris, and Jim Daw. These folks, these folks are seismic quality movers and shakers. And they were joined by very generous people who believe that libraries change lives. Together, they made this project happen. And thank you all. To honor their efforts, along with Turner Construction, Rob Quigley, and various professionals, your City of San Diego staff worked tirelessly together to get it done Do we need a central library in the age of the internet and technology? Yes, and we've got one. The internet and other technologies are the tools. The library is the place where they can be joined freely with the people who need them. When you walk into your beautiful Center for Learning and Knowledge, you will find a special place for everyone. Whether it is the Sanford Children's Library with the colorful Dr. Seuss murals, the Pauline Foster Teen Center designed for and by teens with the beach theme, the expansive and stunning Darlene Shiley Special Events Room Suite, or the beautiful, quiet Ellen Price Reading Room. The San Diego Central Library is poised to nourish the hungry mind, connect people to one another, and provide a wealth of knowledge gleaned from the human experience over the ages. Thank you for this new library. It is just what San Diego needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah Barrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we had wonderful partners in bringing this building to you, not the least of which was our San Diego Unified School Board. We are joined this morning by John Lee Evans, Richard Barrera, and Kevin Beiser, all from the board. Gentlemen, stand up and take a bow. They're looking after our children, and I appreciate what they do. Who else is here? Marnie Foster's here. Marnie, wave wherever you're at. We're glad you're here. And speaking on behalf of our schools is our San Diego Unified Schools Superintendent, Cindy Martin. Cindy has spent 25 years in the field of education, everything from teaching elementary school to serving as a school principal at the fabulous Central Elementary in City Heights. The school board wisely selected her to lead our school district, and who better than Cindy to say a few words about the educational value of our new library. Please join me in welcoming Superintendent Cindy Martin.
Thank you so much for the introduction. This is a dream come true for a teacher and a literacy specialist. Literacy has been a central part of my life since I became a teacher 27 years ago. I know the importance of literacy and libraries to change lives. This really is a dream come true for so many, many people. The role that a library can play in the life of a child who is struggling, a child who in their home does not have access to the books that some children have, can be the equalizer. It can be the place where the community comes together. The third place, we sometimes call it. So I'm grateful to all of the partnerships that have come together to make this happen, a dream for many, many children and families. As a superintendent of San Diego Unified School District, I'm thanking you on behalf of our teachers, who know that there's a place to send children when they want access to books. Our teachers are grateful. All of our staff members are grateful for this partnership. Let me recognize the leadership from our school board. Catherine Nakamura, I don't know if she's here. Catherine Nakamura. There she is. And Sheila Jackson and Richard Barrera for their strong leadership in making sure this partnership happened. This just shows what happens when you pour your heart into something. You can create a dream and make it come true. Our board has said that we are committed to a quality school in every neighborhood. Being able to provide a quality school in every neighborhood and define it as a city, that a quality school is more than just the production of a test score. We talk about the product of public education is an actively literate, contributing, participating member of society who makes a positive difference in the world. To create the conditions where all children become actively literate, contributing members of society, we need you and we need this library. You are now part of San Diego Unified's Vision 2020, creating quality schools in every neighborhood and producing actively literate members of society. Thank you, everybody who is part of this dream. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Martin. and it's now an honor and a privilege to introduce four great San Diegans. Mel Katz, Katie Sullivan, Judith Harris, and Jim Daw of our Library Foundation, an organization whose sheer tenacity helped us to arrive at today's great moment. These folks have been the face of this project for many, many years. No obstacle, no challenge was too daunting for them. Their relentless optimism in helping make this new library a reality has been an inspiration to us all. Please help me in welcoming this great group of San Diegans to the microphone. Guys?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Judith. I'm thrilled to be standing up here this morning with Jim, Katie, Judith, and we represent so many people who have worked, talked, and dreamt about a central library for the people of San Diego for over 30 years. And this is your library. This library is magnificent. And Rob Quigley, who was chosen 17 years ago, did an amazing job. And along with Art Castro from Tucker Sadler and the Turner Construction people, we have an amazing building behind us. And as great as this building is, as amazing as it looks, it's about the people that we're going to be serving when we open up this library on Monday. This is the people's building. It has high-speed wireless internet throughout the building. It has over 400 computers and tablets. It has a career center and a TV studio. It has an amazing art gallery and sculpture court. It has a teen center, a children's library, and a high school, E3 Civic High. It is where the people of San Diego are going to gather, meet, and celebrate. The 9th floor with 3 terraces and the Darlene Marcus Shiley Special Events Suite is the top floor of this building, and it is truly the people's penthouse. And the 3-story glass reading room, the Helen Price Reading Room, is the people's room to read, work, and think. This building is going to change lives, and for all of San Diego, this is your building. This building is here today because of so many people who showed leadership, had a vision, and would not take no for an answer. This truly is a public-private partnership. 38% of the dollars are here because of 3,000 San Diegans. But it couldn't be done without a lead gift and 2 people who had complete faith in the 4 of us, a library foundation, the library team, and city leaders that we would get this building built. And those 2 people are Joan and Erwin Jacobs, represented by Erwin Jacobs today. And not only did they contribute to build the building, but they were also concerned about the increased operating costs that it will cost to operate this building versus our old building. And thanks to Joan and Erwin and Matthew Hervey and the Hervey family, this building will cost the same to operate as our old building, which is half its size, for each of the next 5 years. Three months ago, we were still $20 million short of having us finish the capital campaign. And Joan and Erwin Jacobs came forward again, and they challenged us with a $10 million matching grant. When, not if, when we succeed, and today is the deadline, we will have raised 100% of the costs of this building for the building construction and the furnishing of this amazing building. That $10 million challenge grant excited over 100 donors and 14 donors who came back and gave a second gift to the project, including Allison and Robert Price, who named the reading room after their mother, Helen. We could see the finish line. We were so close, but we had still not raised the $10 million. And we are thrilled today to announce that Darlene Shiley has generously stepped forward in giving us the remaining $1.2 million to meet our goal. Thanks to Darlene and to you, we have met the $10 million match. It is our pleasure, the four of us, the Library Foundation, the library team, to right now thank over 3,000 donors, two amazing individuals, Joan and Erwin, who never lost faith in us, and present to the people of San Diego their new library, 100% paid for.
As the city's budget chairman, can we just get one more round of applause for Mel, Judith, Katie, and Jim? They have given decades of their life to this project, thousands of hours. Guys, you have made San Diego proud through your citizen. I can't even say enough, so I'm going to stop because it's a phenomenal amount of work that they put in. You know, big buildings don't build themselves, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to introduce you to two people who make this building possible. It's really a pleasure to introduce Carmen Van of Turner Construction and architect Rob Quigley. Coming up, guys. Turner Construction has been a part of the team since the design phase, and Carmen has bent over backward to make sure that our city meets our objectives, particularly in ensuring the construction opportunities for our city's small and diverse contractors. Rob, of course, came up with the design that is nothing short of inspired. He has given shape to the dream of this city. Please join me in welcoming Carmen Van and Rob Quigley.
Why don't you go first?
Well, thank you. My name is Carmen Van, and I proudly represent Turner Construction. I was fortunate enough to serve as the project executive leading some 1,100 crew people, a personal Turner team of about 21 at its peak, and so many other vendors and suppliers and subcontractors in this project. To us, this was more than just a project, however. It was a journey, almost like a novel. We had the rising action as the structure came out of the ground, and certainly we had the climax with that dome being completed. How many of you guys saw that happen? An exciting day. And then the falling action as we raced to completion to get to the finish line. And then we had a little conflict. You know, we always got to get inspections. That's important, but that always raises the conflict. But ultimately, we made it to the finish line more than successful. And that is largely due to the teamwork that we had. And when I say team, I don't just mean the Turner team. I mean the Library Foundation, the library staff itself, all of the donors, so many people, obviously Rob Quigley and Tucker Sadler, so many people that played such a large role in making this a success. But I want you to quickly know a few things about our team. Number one, I want you to know that this team supported this project. We cared about and were continuously concerned with the ability to bring this project to you guys safely, on time, on budget, and with quality. We were also concerned, thank you. We were also concerned about our neighbors. It's not easy to bring up 500,000 square feet of new construction less than 50 feet from the homes of many of you. And so we worked tirelessly to ensure that the impact to your personal families and homes was minimized as much as possible. But we know it wasn't easy, and we thank you for enduring us. And I can't mention all of my team members by name, but I want to mention one person, and she's here. Her name is Christine Wonder, and she was our safety director. Because I also want you to know that we were concerned about our workers. This was a challenging project. You can only imagine the complexities in that dome construction. But Christine kept us focused on the true prize, which wasn't just about being on time, being on budget, and providing quality. That was a goal. But a larger goal was to make sure that all of our workers left this job site in one piece. We sent every worker home to their families safely. And so we were able to, thank you. Over 1,100 workers crossed our job site fencing. We put in place over 770,000 man-hours and had 0 lost time accidents. And that, to me, is a success of successes. But now we turn the chapter. You all have heard all the stats, the 43,000 yards of concrete that went in place, the 12 million pounds of rebar that sits in those columns and those slabs, the dome in all of its magnificent grandeur. But now we turn the page. We'll move on to projects, but we were so proud to be a part of such a milestone and monumentous project for the city of San Diego. And so now I turn this project and this building over to Deborah Barrow, to all of you, the community, and I expect that the next chapter that will be written here will be filled with unmatched experiences in this, your new Central Library. Thank you very much.
At a time in our era when a piece of grass smaller than the footprint of this library and a few thousand chairs costs over $1 billion, this building was built for under $200,000. $200 million. All good architects are optimists. And in 30 years, this won't be considered out of date, but just beginning to acquire the dignity of a patina. This phenomenal achievement is in part because of the dedicated efforts of the city construction management team in the second row here. Why don't you guys stand up? They had to put up with us for 3 years. The design team with my partner Art Castro and his Tucker Sadler crew, and the extraordinary talents of Carmen Van and Turner Construction. But most important of all, a savvy mayor and an insightful council recognized this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and acted when the construction costs were just right, with a little encouragement from Judith and Mel, I think. Despite the risks, Democrats and Republicans came together for our city when it really counted. This was never a normal project for the people working on it. I can remember when I needed some photos of our study model, for instance, at a critical time in the fundraising effort, and we didn't have the money to pay for it. I hired a really wonderful friend of mine, Marshall Harrington, and he took the photographs, and when I asked him what his charges would be, what the bill would be at the end of it, he said, "Don't worry about it, it's my library." And that is just an example of the many things that happened throughout the session. When we went to plant the oak tree that you'll see in the center of the courtyard there, the key tree in the entire library, Carmen Van looked at it and she says, "That's the tree?" And I said, "Well, that's all the city budget allowed." And she says, "That won't do. And do you have anything else?" And I happen to have a picture of a 24-foot tall tree. And she says, "That's the one." I said, "Well, it's another $8,000, I think, for that tree." She says, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it." Those things just don't happen on a normal project. This project is a library of the people. It was born in the creative camaraderie of a workshop 17 years ago. Some of you were there. And as far as I know, it's the only civic building in the region that began with the design of hundreds of citizens like you working together. Because of that, it's uniquely San Diegan. And I like to think it reflects who we are as a community. This is one building rich in the pride of community that chooses to respect our own culture, our own history, and our own climate. I don't think you could imagine this building existing in New York or Munich or even Los Angeles. Paul Indris was the brilliant engineer that figured out how to actually design and build that dome. And Paul is here today. Are you here, Paul? Raise your hand. That's a phenomenal structural achievement. And I just learned that dome won a national award for structural engineering yesterday. This dome above us stands as an icon, a symbol of this city's commitment to literacy and community. And like the human spirits nurtured within, the dome is designed to be in a perpetual act of becoming. It will never look finished or complete. It's intended to stand as a paradox, grand yet accessible, familiar yet unique, comforting yet provocative, permanent yet always kinetic as it reflects the clouds and the sun above us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Rob. Thank you for putting your heart and soul in this beautiful building. And Rob, thank you so much for acknowledging our city employees. We have wonderful city employees who worked on this project as well, and our engineering and capital project staff. We are led today by Walt Eckert and Scott Chadwick. Guys, thanks for leading our city staff. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10,000 city employees who are wonderful public servants who serve you every day, and they have my gratitude. Now, I would like to welcome to the stage, or to the podium, our acting state librarian. Don't get concerned, I'm acting too, but it's all good. Our acting state librarian, Jerry McGinnity, one of the state's leading authorities when it comes to library and library issues. He, of course, is in his role as a state librarian. He oversees a department that serves our central reference and research arm for the governor, for the legislature, for state employees, and the general public. Please welcome acting state librarian Jerry McGinnity.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Just want to tell the mayor, acting is really good. It's a good business in California. I've been acting state librarian so long, I just got a thing in the mail from the Screen Actors Guild. They want me to join, so that's California. I'm also known as the other Jerry up in Sacramento. So you've heard all the praise and all the wonderful things. I can't add to that. But I just want to say thank you and congratulations to you, the people of San Diego, this great city of San Diego, the San Diego Public Library, the San Diego Public Library Foundation, the San Diego School District for putting this project together. It's absolutely incredible. I can personally remember as a young librarian a couple of years ago, I had a job with the cooperative library system in this area back in 1978-79. And my project is called the Sarah Cooperative, and I worked over in Imperial County. But my main office was over here, and I came over here to meetings. And I can remember one of the meetings was at what we're calling now, I guess, the old Central Library. And it was down in the catacombs of that building somewhere. And the staff were telling me, San Diego has changed. This is not the San Diego of the 1950s. We're going to get a new new library. So you can see how far back people understood the need. And San Diego has changed since then, too, I'm sure. And then through the years, I got a chance to work with Jim Daw when he served on the California Library Services Board. And, you know, every chance he got, Jim was over there telling you, we're going to get a library. If you got any money, he'd pass the hat at the meetings. I mean, it was... But, you know, this is quite a project. And the word library, it resonates. You don't have to sit and explain it. You can say it in any language. As a matter of fact, I believe we have librarians here today from Baja California. Tenemos bibliotecarios aquí de Baja. Levantan la mano. ¿Dónde están? Allá atrás. Gracias. They're from also representing ABIBAC, the Baja California Library Association. So, you know, as I've gone, I also want to tell you this energizes me because, you know, we sit up there in Sacramento and I work for you through your libraries. And it's great to get that opportunity to come out here. And I feel the energy. I see the energy. I see you guys are really excited about this. I see it in every community in California. I've been to openings in the little farm town of Parlier in Fresno County. The whole community came out. I was over in Mammoth Lakes in Mono County, tiny community. The whole community came out. It's just, you say library and they understand it. Frazier Park, up on the top of the Grapevine in Kern County. The whole community turned out. But what I want to just say is, you know, you've worked so hard and it's so right here. And what makes a library? I want to talk a little bit about what the role of the state, just so you know why I'm here. You know, in March 2000, you, the California voters, approved Proposition 14. Now, I'm going to read you the name of that. I think it took up half the ballot measure. It was called the California Reading and Literacy Improvement and Public Library Construction and Renovation Bond Act. So there was just a little room at the bottom to say yes, you know, but the California Library administered this program. It provided $350 million for library projects, 45 projects throughout the state. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the 45th celebration. And I do believe some people will say, that we really did save the best for last. So it's a great day. But what makes a library? You know, when I came down here a few years ago, they said, hey, we had a groundbreaking. I was at a meeting over at the convention center. They said, run over and see it. See it. I ran over here, and there was the biggest hole I've ever seen and the deepest hole I have ever seen in a city. But that was the beginning. And then they add the concrete, and they add the steel and the glass. That still isn't a library. All the work you people did, all these groups I've mentioned, to get together that funding, that didn't make the library. And now you, with Deborah Barrow and all the wonderful staff of the San Diego Public Library, putting it together, getting the collections and the services all in place, still not a library. The last piece is you. When you pass through those doors and you benefit from that library, then it is the wonderful library it's supposed to be. So So I would just urge you, make this a part of your life. San Diego, aquí tienes tu biblioteca. This is your library. Aprovechala, take advantage, use it, make it part of your life, and I'm sure it will benefit you for a long time to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for the $20 million. Thank you to our state legislators for your help in making that happen, and of course to former Governor Gray Davis, who's represented by Lynn Shank. Lynn, thanks for all your hard work and get that money to San Diego. We appreciate it. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor, it's a privilege to introduce a man whose generosity to this city has been nothing short of transformative. His impact on the San Diego region, from the arts to education to community enhancement, is impossible to measure. The philanthropy of Joan and Dr. Irwin Jacobs is legendary. All of San Diego is richer because of their inspired commitment to making sure that our city never falls short of its full potential. And without their help, we would surely not be sitting here today. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Irwin Jacobs. I am honored to be standing next to Dr. Jacobs. for the announcement of our facility's new name, the San Diego Central Library at Joan and Irwin Jacobs Common. A quick explanation. As you'll notice, when you see the name spelled out, it merges the old with the new, traditional lettering with the computer symbols of the modern age, and the meaning of the word common is a communal gathering place, a place where connections happen. A truly special name for a truly special building. I welcome Irwin Jacobs to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Todd. It really is a wonderful day to be here. We've been watching this building from the time it was a hole in the ground to going up and now being filled with books. We're looking forward next to seeing it filled with people. So very, very special day. First, I'm sorry to say that Joan wasn't able to be here with us today. She had a back operation and she was all dressed and ready to come, but it just didn't feel quite right. And so she left it up to me to represent both of us, but she certainly has visited before and looks forward now to coming back when it is in full use. Now, as I'm sure many of you, when you're deciding where to provide support, how to make use of funds that you might be donating, labor hours that you might be donating, that the first issue is the project itself. Is this a project that's very worthy of support? And of course, these days, a new library is indeed a question. I think using Qualcomm technology to a certain extent, well over 2 billion people access the internet wirelessly, more than access it on wire. And of course, one has all types of capabilities available from that access, from the internet. And so what is the role of the library going forward? And so the first thing we did as we were thinking about this was to, as we visited different cities, we would always make a point to stop in at their main library. And the amazing thing, those main libraries were always full of people. And so it was clear that indeed there was a need, there was a demand still in this age of the internet for having this place to congregate, to be able to talk about books, to talk with librarians, to have the benefit of both the intellectual, the instructional, and the social part of having a library. And so, after looking at those cities, at what's happening, we decided to then take the next step that you always take before you make a decision, and that is to look into the leadership. And I must say, and you can tell from meeting everybody today, or most that were involved as leaders on this project, that the leadership was outstanding. And so we felt that this met our criteria, that this was indeed something that we could support. I must say, in those early days, looking at pictures, looking at a model that really didn't do justice to this building in any way, we were still excited about it. But now seeing the actual museum, I just flew back from DC last night, so I asked for forgiveness. Seeing this new library, it is much more spectacular in actuality than it was apparent in the planning. And indeed, one of the key things as you go through the library is to look at all the thoughtful details that went into this library, as well as the very professional construction, handling of the concrete, handling of the wood panel, handling of everything. it really indeed has come out to be something well above what we originally anticipated. Just a few words about the name. Clearly, it was going to be San Diego Central Library. There was no question on that. And we thought what might, in fact, be something to kind of add beneath that. Well, as you can tell from my accent, I come from Boston, or near Boston, New Bedford, but we lived in Boston for 10 years. And there we have the Boston Common. And the Boston Common is a place where people do come and gather and talk with one another, etc. They don't have the benefit of this great building, but they still tend to come. A common is a place to come, gather, have discussions, interact with other members of the community. And so we thought that that would indeed be a very appropriate name. And then we had a little bit of fun, as Mayor Gloria mentioned, to say at the, we might as well go ahead and use the at sign that we're all familiar with. So I don't think anybody, perhaps 10 years ago, you might have been puzzled about that, but no longer. And then when we say Joan and Irwin, what you'll see is the mathematical symbol, logical symbol for and. It's an inverted V. So we decided we'd bring a little bit of mathematics into it, a little bit of the computer age, etc. Now what we're looking forward to greatly is seeing the building in use. Many of you there making use, many others making use, stopping up to see the charter school on the 5th and 6th floors, seeing the reading room full of people enjoying that. In fact, of course, the children's library. And let me just take a minute more and just mention that when I was growing up in New Bedford, Massachusetts, every Saturday was indeed very special because my mother would take me on a trolley car down to the Central Library and allow me to pick out a stack of books. And so I still think back to that when I visit a children's library. In fact, despite that was, I'm now turning 80, that was a little time ago, occasionally I look through the stacks to see if I recognize any of the books. In any case, it's been a great pleasure for Joan and I to be part of this project. We look forward to many years of joy, seeing many of you and others from San Diego, from the community here, making great use of the facilities, and by the way, of a 3D printer so that you can look at the manufacturing of the future as well. That's going to be the real payoff, seeing it being well used. So it's a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of it. Enjoy your tour. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Jacobs, for your incredible generosity. Please give our best to Joan. And on behalf of every San Diegan, we are so grateful for your remarkable support and civic commitment. Now we have the privilege of hearing one more song from our amazing, our talented San Diego Children's Choir.
well, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you in this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, won't seem like the sun of earth to swiftly run away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain, seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. Miracles, though hope is rare, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you see it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you
San Diego Children's Choir, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much. You make your city so proud. When you believe, ladies and gentlemen, look what happened. We believed, and it is now a reality. We are at the end of our program, but before we close it, we have a video for all of you. It's entitled, Turning the Page to a New Chapter. I invite you to look at your screen. We have Chapter 1, which begins in 1902 with the construction of San Diego's very first Central Library, known as the San Diego Carnegie Library. We turn the page to Chapter 2, which begins in 1954 with the construction of a brand new Central Library at the corner of 8th and E Streets in downtown. San Diego, Chapter 3 begins today with the grand opening of the San Diego Central Library at Joan and Irwin Jacobs Common. There it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's opening ceremonies. Now comes the part that you've all been waiting for, a chance to explore this incredible facility. We have a wonderful street fair. We're open and free to the public. There'll be tours of our library, and it opens for business come Monday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a world-class city. We are capable of big and great things. Today is a great day for America's finest city. Have a wonderful time.